Hey, it's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China. Welcome to another edition of Q&A with the Coach. Today we have a question from Kichu's Nest who says, Master Ramsey, oh my guys, I'm not anybody's master. I'm not your shifu, I'm not your sensei. I'm not your senpai, I'm not your kungfu or whatever you want to call me. You can call me Coach. You can call me Ramsey, you can call me Mr., but Master, man. Anyway, that's a title I don't accept. Ramsey, we'll go there. Can a person who practices Kung Fu practice Tai Chi at the same time? Well, let's get in a discussion about semantics, I guess. There are about 400 different styles of Chinese martial arts. And you could correctly call all of them, including Tai Chi or Tai Chi Chuan, Kung Fu or Gong Fu. But Gong Fu or Kung Fu does not necessarily mean martial arts. It simply means a great skill or a talent, something achieved through hard work. Now, most of the time, at least here in China, when people say Kung Fu, when they say Gong Fu, Zhongguo Gong Fu, that means Chinese Kung Fu. They're talking about Chinese martial arts. But it is possible to say you have good Kung Fu, good Gong Fu in cooking or acrobatics or penmanship or calligraphy or whatever. Okay. That is within the realm of possibility and reason. But again, most of the time, if somebody says Zhongguo Gong Fu, they mean Chinese Kung Fu. Martial arts, Chinese martial arts. And Tai Chi is under that umbrella term. So if you're asking, can you practice let's say a combative form of Kung Fu? Maybe you do like praying mantis style Chinese boxing, something like that. And you train at a school where you actually spar and you don't just do the forms. Okay. Can you do that and then do Tai Chi forms at the same time? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, the best master, real master, a man who earned that title, a master of Tai Chi Chuan, he was also a master of praying mantis Kung Fu. And he practiced them at the same time. And this guy actually knew how to fight. He knew how to apply those shadow grappling, those shadow wrestling movements of Tai Chi in the context of actual hand-to-hand combat. And it was beautiful. Absolutely amazing. I told the story about Master Wu Dao Shui many times on this channel. Just a phenomenal level of kinesthetic bodily awareness on this guy. And a great example of the fact that you can be skilled in more than just one thing. And that shocks a lot of people. One thing that I've been doing on this channel for about a year now is making my own music. So on videos where I use music, I've started making my own for the specific reason that I was getting copyright claims from music that was supposed to be copyright-free, royalty-free. You know, the composer's advertising, you can use this, simply, attribute the source and so on, and it turned out to be fake news. So I thought, you know what, I'm tired of this. I'm not going to use anybody else's music ever again, even if they give me express permission to do so. I am going to make my own. Okay. And so I usually put it at the end of the video and also in the description, original music by Ramsey Dewey. Okay. And it's nothing special, just some beats I put on loops, and but some people really dig that stuff. Just to have something fun in the background to keep the pace going. But a few people read that little snippet that said original music by Ramsey Dewey, and they're like, "What? That's impossible. This guy can do more than one thing. That's nuts. He does he coaches cage fighters and he makes beats now. What's going on? I can't wrap my mind around this." That's okay. Look, guys, you can be good at more than one thing. The limiting factor is time. You can be good at lots of things. In fact, you already are good at lots of things. And you're probably thinking, no, I'm not good at anything. Compare yourself to a baby for a moment. What can babies do? What can babies not do? You have learned many, many skills throughout your life up to this point, even if you're the most untalented human on this planet. You've developed a bunch of skills that got you to adulthood. Can you feed yourself? For example, you might think that's nothing special. Anybody can feed themselves. Babies can't. You couldn't when you were a small child. You couldn't. You needed somebody else to put a spoon in your mouth and give you the most basic nourishment to keep you alive. Can you wipe your own butt? Come on, Ramsey, anybody can do that. Babies can't. That's an acquired skill. Compare yourself with the monkeys of... Man, what species of monkey is it? I'm going to have to look this up afterward, but there's a species of monkey. And they live on an island, and there are a bunch of coconut trees on this island, and that is their main food source. They eat coconuts. But how does a relatively small monkey get into a coconut? Because they can't just break it open with their little monkey hands. Monkeys are strong, but they're not that strong. Coconuts are tough, man. So these monkeys, they got a big flat rock, okay? They lay that flat rock down on the ground, then they get a nice round rock. They put the coconut on the flat rock, they take the smaller round rock and they bash it until it opens. Sounds simple. Even the most untalented human could figure out how to do that in a matter of minutes, I'm sure. But these monkeys, it takes them an average of 3 years to learn how to do this, how to just feed themselves with coconuts. And so through trial and error over the course of years, they teach their children, let's find the best flat rock and the best pounding rock. And they go at this for a long time, teaching their young ones, this is how you do this, this is how you do this. And this monkey culture, over the course of many years on this island, has developed to the point where, that is the primary skill set that they pass along to the next generation. And it takes 3 years for the monkeys to learn how to do it. Now, guess what? You're smarter than a monkey. And even monkeys like that can do more than 2 things, right? They can smash coconuts with rocks, and they can climb trees. What's so special about climbing trees? You ever tried to do that? Can you do a pull-up? A lot of people can't. If not, start working on that. I got a great video made a few years ago about how to do pull-ups when you can't. Maybe I'll put a link to that somewhere up here. Maybe. We'll see. So can you be good at more than one thing? Yes, you can. Can you do a style of kung fu that isn't Tai Chi and Tai Chi at the same time? Yeah. Absolutely. You're talking to a mixed martial arts coach right here. And guess what mixed martial artists do? They get good at more than one thing. You have to know how to grapple. You have to know how to box. You need to know how to wrestle, how to do submissions, how to avoid submissions. You need to know how to clinch fight, how to kick, how to work in the spaces between spaces. It's a lot of different skill sets. And how do you do that? Well, schedule your time accordingly. How much time do you waste in your life? Probably a lot. Now, think about this. Go back to those monkeys on the islands. It takes them 3 years to learn that basic survival skill set, without which they would die. Okay? 3 years. That's time well spent for a monkey. And you can pick up that skill set within minutes. Or less. You might already have that skill set. You're smarter than a monkey. It takes you significantly less time to learn a simple skill set like that than a monkey. So ask yourself, how much time am I wasting throughout the day? Start tracking your schedule. Take a little notebook or print up a hour-by-hour schedule card. Carry it in your pocket. And for 1 week, here's what I want you to do. Write down how you spend each hour. On Monday, you got a schedule for all the hours, right? This is the time I sleep. You can block that out, right? This is the time I spend eating, right? 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, I go to the gym and exercise. 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, I eat dinner, whatever it is, right? You write that down, okay? Now, the next week, get out a new chart with the hours of the days of the week blocked out like that, okay? And here's what I want you to do. Compare what you did last week. Look at that. Look for the open, available time slots. Look for the times where you spent your time doing something less productive than learning how to break a coconut to feed yourself, right? Look for the times where, I don't know, maybe you were just sitting around doing nothing. Maybe you were just scrolling through your phone looking for some ear-tickling entertainment. Maybe you were playing video games just to pass the time. Okay. Now, with that new sheet, here's what I want you to do. Plan your next week. Plan how you will spend your time. Look at how you did spend your time, and then plan how you will spend your time the next week. Okay. And then follow that schedule for a week. And make sure to keep yourself accountable. Mark it out. Carry it in your pocket. Wear a shirt with a pocket on the front. Or if not, get some trousers with pockets. You know, a lot of women's clothing, for the 3% of the viewers who are females according to analytics, a lot of women's clothing does not have pockets. And my wife is constantly annoyed by this because she's always handing me things to put in my pockets, because men's clothing generally does have pockets and women's clothing does not. So, manufacturers of women's clothing, my advice to you, make some fashionable clothes for women with pockets that women actually want to wear. Pockets are useful. Get on that, folks. Now, so get yourself a pocket, put that schedule in your pocket so you can pull it out, look at it hour by hour, right? And I want you to write it down, pen and paper, not just like carry around a phone like, oh yeah, I can do this on my phone. Why? I want you to physically participate in the process of writing something down with a pen and a paper. There is a great deal of good that happens when you physically participate with your hands, with your manual dexterity. And it's going to connect that process to your mind in some very unique ways that you might not have thought about before or noticed before if you're used to tracking everything on a phone. And you might think, well, on my phone I can set up some schedules and some alarms, and so it's going to beep when I have to do things. Okay, no. If that pushes you in the direction you want to go and you're comfortable being there, okay, good. But instead of thinking I have to do things because my phone is telling me to, think I want to do things because my heart says so. And then what happens? We compare those schedules, what I did before, what I will do next week. And the next week, we look back. How our plan matched up with reality. Then we have a little meeting with ourselves and we think, all right, pull out another card with the weeks, the days of the week and the hours of the day scheduled out there, right? Write up a new schedule. Make a new game plan about how you're going to tackle that week, if you will. And you will begin to see that you have a great deal more time on your hands, and you have the capacity to accomplish much more than just one thing with your life, let alone one thing with that week. Think about this. If you just try one new thing every day, think about that. Every day. Here's a little challenge for you. And maybe, let's see, you know what? I'm going to get in on this challenge too. People love challenges. You throw the word challenge around on the internet and people are willing to do some ridiculous stuff. So let's make it a good challenge instead of a dumb one. I challenge you to do something new every day for 7 days, for the next week. Okay? Start tomorrow. And tomorrow until the following week, 7 days from then, do something new every week. If you follow me on Instagram, I don't post there too often, but sometimes I do look at it. Okay, go follow me on Instagram. Send me a, just link me over there and say, hey, Ramsey, here's a video of me doing, or a picture, or a post of me doing something new every day for a week. Here's my new thing. Do that. I'll even give you a like if you like that sort of thing. Okay. And I'll tell you what, I'll do the same thing. And you will shock and surprise yourself if you were one of those people in the mindset that we can only do one thing with our lives. You'll be shocked and appalled and pleasantly surprised at how many more things you have accomplished. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and train.